In this video, we're going to take a look at our fuel tank straps for the 300ZX Z31. They're a pair, stainless steel, CNC cut, then formed, little TIG welding, and then the straps are spot welded to the brackets, same with the end. So these are basically just a replica, better version of the factory ones. On our Z31 that we are putting together, you know, we dropped the tank, we're going to get it all cleaned up and have it looking good, and so we wanted to do something for the tank straps as well. Like the contrast of the stainless against the black tank. Sometimes these are, you know, ours are pretty crusty and gross, and you know, we could have sandblasted them and then powder coated them and done a bunch of things, but especially if you don't have that access to that type of equipment, it was going to be a lot faster and cheaper to just throw on some stainless ones, and we like the contrast better. You know, and then you don't have to worry about them rusting, corroding. So one thing you'll note is that when you remove the factory tank straps, which we could always look on the car here in a minute, but when you remove the factory tank straps, you somewhat have to bend them out of the way to twist them out of where they're keyed in the back on this end. And normally you would drop them, they would hang, then you would drop the tank, then you would pull the straps out. But if you're like, I don't really want to pull the tank, you don't actually have to. You just have to flex the straps out of the way and then pop them out. But when you're putting the new ones in, these are nice and flexible, and so you can flex them. You just want to make sure that you don't over flex them to cause like a hard kink. But you can actually bend these quite a ways as long as you don't kink them. Pop it in, and then when you actually go to tighten the bolt up, it'll just pull them straight up against the tank and put the natural curve that you want just right into them. So we can go take a look real quick at a set that are on the our test car, and I can show you what I mean. All right, so here we are into the test Z31, and we got the straps on. The one that we're building is an 89, this one's an 85, so we tested it on the 89, the 85. Straps were the same, but one thing to mention while we're under here is this has the rubber insulator. On this, just to test it, we peeled it off the factory tank straps, and which you could do the same thing. Another thing that a lot of customers have had good luck with is to take like an old bicycle inner tube. If you don't want to spend the money to get new insulators, just take a bicycle inner tube and cut them open and actually use that as your insulator in there. But anyway, so if we can look up back here where the tabs go in, these will, in order to get these out, you obviously have to undo the bolt in the front, and they swing down, and then you have to twist them to get them in and out of these little cutouts. And so in a normal case, you would undo the bolts in the front, which if we look up here, you've got a bolt up there, and then over here you got your adjustable J-hook, which again, the insulators, J-hooks, those aren't included. It's just the straps, but the factory ones seem to be in pretty good shape. But anyway, so you'll undo those. These straps will swing out, and then at that point, you would you know, probably do that to drop the tank, and then if you needed to get these out, you swing them up, twist them, they pop out. In this particular, which that's what we did in the 89, because you know we're going through everything, touching every part of that, getting it all cleaned up and updated. But on this one, we just wanted to test it. We didn't actually want to hassle with taking the fuel tank out. If you happen to be in that boat and you wanted to change your straps, what we did obviously is we supported the tank. We have a We did it on the lift with the jack, lift jack. But so we supported the tank, swung these down, and actually what we ended up doing is bending these back the opposite way so we could still get up there enough to twist them out. And then, you know, same thing with going in, with the putting the new ones in, we had to do the same process. And so when we put them in, they're actually the straps were bent the wrong way. And, but again, like I mentioned upstairs at the table is that as long as you don't bend it to the point where you kink it, since they're stainless, they can flex back the opposite direction and then be bent back into place. And so we did that, pulled it around, bent it mostly back by hand, and once we attached it and then tightened down the bolts over here, just pulled it up nice and snug against the tank, and you can see how they fit. So again, the tank straps are available from Skillard.com, and they're sold as a pair, driver and passenger. And if you have any questions, email sales@Skillard.com.